this past weekend, we got to see Cody Rhodes finish the story. We got to see Cody Rhodes finish the story. We got to see, you feel me, from a bird's eye view. You know what I'm talking about? I got to watch the tag match with Seth and Cody against Roman and The Rock. And then, of course, Sunday evening, we were in the building for WrestleMania 40, and the atmosphere was off the fucking charts. It was crazy. It was so many people in that motherfucker. I was yelling at everybody, like Ben said. I was tripping on niggas. You feel me? Like, listen, I was trying to make 123 the illest section in the building. And we might have been able to, you feel me, you know what I'm saying, get there. You feel me? We might have been able to get there, you know what I'm talking about? But
PE 12300.
Yeah. So this whole thing about this whole thing, this what really irritated me about the show. I'm not gonna hold you. When Bailey and Io Sky's match started, it was like too many people I seen getting up, going to the stands, to concessions, or going to get merch, or going to get food, or whatever, going to the bath. I wasn't feeling that. That really rubbed me the wrong way, especially since Bailey from where I'm from. We from the same soil. We represent the same struggle. You know what I'm talking about? So for people to do that, and then also to hear some people with some weird xenophobic shit on the other side of the shit talking about USA, USA, you bitch ass nigga, I should punch you in your motherfucking face. What is you talking about, USA? Just because EO's here, nigga? What's wrong with you niggas? You niggas is bugging. You niggas is tripping. Anyways, we had an amazing time. I thought that show was fire. Now, with this said, though, with this said, I mean, y'all can lay out how y'all feel about the show from that perspective as y'all answer the question. But what is next for Cody Rhodes as he finishes the story? Because we already saw that there may be something going on with The Rock, but that doesn't seem immediate. What do you envision for Cody Rhodes as like his first program in this Triple H era, and where this could go? Jizzle, go ahead, bro.
Hey, yo. What I want to see, I need to see Cody Rhodes turn into the exact person that he hated. Like, he gets the fucking crown, and then, like, see what Roman Reigns has been talking about, and then, like, he slowly turns into a fucking just an evil motherfucker. Like, that's what I want to see. But, like, as his first fucking person, like, I think we have to wait for the draft, right? Like, because, like, both champions are on Raw technically, so kind of had
Ben,
to see
jump
for
in,
the
please.
draft.
I
DJ.
think I think the
Chill out.
first like opponent that you could have for him, I think would be really cool and really interesting and fresh, would be to have him go up against AJ Styles. I think that that's personally what I want to see. But the whole thing about like the whole Rock situation and everything like that, when do y'all think that happens? Is that WrestleMania? Is that Survivor Series? Is that Royal Rumble? SummerSlam?
When the Rock thing comes back around, man, I think that's a great main event for not Royal, for SummerSlam. I think that'd be a great main event for SummerSlam. The Rock is what? The Rock is he's filming that, what the movie is, Monster something.
The MMA shit?
Yeah, I can't remember what the name is, but he's filming that. That's gonna be what, like the next 2.5 months, possibly 3 months. If he could get back into camp and try to stay in ring shape along the way, since this is a physical role, I could see them doing the Rock and Cody match at SummerSlam. But I feel like in order for us to get to Roman Reigns and The Rock by next year, WrestleMania, these story beats kind of have to go along with the big four, with these shows, to kind of progress it along in I guess a meaningful way that it makes sense. I feel like there's events that have to happen on the big four shows to push us towards that ultimate action or that ultimate match next year at WrestleMania.
I agree with you. Also, if you're gonna deem this shit the Paul Levesque era, then you better fucking do what you say, nigga. If you're gonna name this shit after yourself, listen, this shit, like, we talked about this shit the whole weekend. Like, yo, man, this shit, like, you got the X's and the L's and the green and black, and just having to fall in line. Like, listen, like, But if you're gonna name this shit after you, you better deliver. Listen, pro wrestling is back. Michael Cole cried that shit. So like, yo, you better deliver, cuz that's all I want to say.
But yeah, let's look at the chat because their chat is saying I can see Gunther versus Cody. Shout out to the real JM. And yo, Tony's in here too. Cody versus Gunther for the undisputed WWE Championship. Like, I feel like it's one of those situations where we kind of like circled what people haven't faced Roman, and that's how we've been like, yeah, we've had to deal with things for so long. Now that you have Cody in it, you're like, okay, the possibilities are endless. He hasn't faced this person, and for the title or whatever. Like it's a fresh schedule. So yeah, Gunther versus Cody, that could work. AJ, LA Knight, you could do that. You could have him face somebody else on Raw. The possibilities are endless, and like at this point, there's no wrong answer. So
I think Jizzle makes a good point when you say like, you know, like because backlash, like the draft is coming up, but the draft isn't gonna go into effect until after backlash, likely, when those rosters are kind of split and set. But I think safe. What is it? Khalil in the chat says, "Bring that back for me, please." Save Gunther versus Cody when you're ready to put the title on Gunther. I wouldn't necessarily say do that, but I think that maybe the Cody and Gunther feud would be maybe his second feud, because I feel like maybe there's time to sneak something else in before we do the whole Bash in Berlin push, and I don't necessarily think Gunther has to win. You know, when they go do this whole Bash in Berlin thing, I think that like you said, there's a possibility for an AJ Styles program. There's a possibility for a Sheamus program. I believe that'd be dope. I think that that's something that they can utilize that's short and could be effective and just kind of, you know, doesn't need to take up a lot of time. But I think there's a lot of dope possibilities, especially with the draft coming up, which I think is going to prove. I think the draft is going to prove fruitful for the main roster, especially in this whole quote unquote Triple H era or new era. Brenton in the chat says, "What about Finn Balor? Finn Balor's a good one as well.
He got to fight Damian Priest. They're gonna do. They're gonna do a Judgment Day implosion after this fucking shit. I already seen it coming. We call that shit.
Yeah, I would probably see that before I could see Cody and Finn, because Finn takes a lot of L's. And I feel like with this the inclusion of the World Heavyweight Championship, this is an opportunity to kind of rebuild Finn Balor back to prominence.
Yeah,
they should take that opportunity if they could. Yeah,
Dolph Ziggler when you need him.
Question for you, Ben, though, because I remember last year around this time we were talking about the whole, you know, Triple H's first year as, you know, the main booker of the WWE. Subsequently, since then, we found out that that is not the case, and Vince McMahon's fingerprints have been all over the product since then. I think them making this push of like over this weekend to really like drive home this Triple H is in charge. Triple H is the one that put all this together. Triple H is da 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 da. It was like a fucking love fest for this nigga, bro. Like, so I feel like now we can safely say that this is the time where, you know, the ball is literally in Triple H's court as far as him running the show. What do you think about the changes that he's made when it comes to production, when it comes to the booking, and when it comes to like the overall aspect of what you enjoy about the show?
Last year when everybody was saying like, oh, Triple H is in charge of creative, they had full creative control with him, blah 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 blah, whatever. I was kind of tough on him. I was a little bit rough when it came down to that women's tournament and everything like that. But so far with the lead up to WrestleMania and everything like that, with the ball being firmly in, you know, his court and everything like that, I feel like he's done a great job. I feel like he's put the focus on where it needed to be. What really was the test for him was the pivot off of the whole Rock storyline, because a lot of people try to say, this was the plan from the beginning. This was always the plan. You see what he said on ESPN? This was always the plan from the beginning. And The Rock and Triple H literally said, we had to come up with all of this on the fly. So I feel like that was the true test of who Triple H is as a booker and as the head of creative and everything like that. I feel like he's done a great job. I feel like when you got Vince out of there and you got Kevin Dunn out of there, I feel like the possibilities were endless for what you can do. I mean, like Vince's influence, I don't think is fully gone from the WWE, but it's a lot of people in there that still, that worked with him or whatever. We saw Bruce Pritchard. He came out at the end of WrestleMania and hugged Cody Rhodes and everything like that. So there's still some people in there, but for the most part, I love the direction that they're going. I love that they're focusing on themselves. I love that they're building intricate storylines and they're adding things and pieces and stuff like that and doing callbacks and all that type of stuff and literally like setting up storylines that are going to be made down the road. And on top of that, this Monday Night Raw, this Raw after WrestleMania, felt like a Raw after WrestleMania for the first time in years. It functioned as a Raw after WrestleMania. It literally set up everything going forward. You had surprises. You had Ilya Dragunov come out. You had Indy Hartwell on the show. You had John Cena show up and have a tag match and everything like that. You literally positioned everything else where it needs to go, and you use that momentum to go forward and hit the reset button. That's something that we haven't seen in a while. And I just can't say enough good stuff about it. For now, he might fuck up in the future, and then I'm gonna have to come back. So I'm not just gonna, I'm not gonna, give all the love right now. But he's doing a great job, and I like the direction they're going.
CJ,
I mean, I hope he holds it down. Like, he ain't got no choice. But listen, you're just gonna do what you want to do, and like what you've been doing has been working for so long. And he knows. Like, I think he has the pulse. Like, I know we talked about him taking that shot at, what I'm saying, old boy. And like, he just knows, like, he knows exactly what he's doing. Like, he's been in the, like, I think it's going to be just fine. Like, I think he did it. I think so. Like, after WrestleMania, like, that shit was a fucking good start for his little era that he named himself. But you have to live up to that shit. You can't name some shit and then not live up to it. So niggas going to hold you accountable for that shit. Because motherfuckers have been asking for this shit. They've been asking for him to be running this shit for a long time. So now that he's, like, now officially, I guess, even though he's been running it for a little bit, but now that this is his era, like, we're gonna hold you to that high standard, nigga. So like, you just be ready to live up to it. I think he's gonna be just fine. Like, him and fucking Shawn Michaels, I think it's gonna be a revolving door, and I think it'll be just fine. But just be ready to live up to that fucking name that you named yourself at WrestleMania.
Okay, this isn't a literal name of the era, like Attitude Era or like Ruthless Aggression. This isn't like necessarily literally the Triple H era. They haven't named it that. So I don't want us to get too far deep off in the weeds of saying live up to that name. That's not what
if you're gonna come out in front of 70,000 people and say this is the Paul Levesque era, and then the next night you're gonna do it again, but I'm gonna send my wife to go say it too, just to let you know.
He didn't say it.
Hey, listen. Here I am. Welcome to WrestleMania. And she was like, yo, this is the Paul Levesque era. This is my name. This is my namesake. So like, you gotta live up to that shit. Like, sometimes, that's what it is. So like, I think he's ready for that shit. But just be ready for the criticism, like, no matter what it is, and just be ready for the praise, because it's gonna be equal on both sides, I think.
Oh no, we're definitely in the honeymoon period of the whole like Triple H era and everything like that. You want to call it? A lot of people are calling it the Renaissance era. I think
The
Cody
Rock
Rhodes
said it's the fuck you era.
It's the fuck you era, the Renaissance era, the Triple H era. We'll give it. It'll be a name eventually that's given to it. But shout out to Andre.
Says, go ahead.
With Triple H, you gotta expect some curveballs. He actually reads the fans' comments and respects the feedback. Yeah, he like for those of you who don't know, Triple H is chronically online. He's online a lot. You think Tony Khan is online? He's online just as much as him. Like, really, like people have been saying like for like a better part of a month man, he lost his family. He's divorced. Stephanie left him. He was calling CM Punk on Thanksgiving to try to get him to come back to WWE. There's no way, he's talking with his wife and everything like that and all that. And just for him to have his wife show up and be like, yeah, nigga, this my nigga's era. It's his era. Like, that's some next level shit.
Carol 22 in the chat says he said at the scrum it wasn't his era. He said it was everyone's era.
And guess what? That's something a nigga if it was his era that he would say. That's something that he would say.
Andy says, I trust Triple H, but like Ben said, give him time to fuck up once in a while. For sure. We got to give room and rope. Nobody's perfect. Like Triple H's booking isn't going to be perfect. Tony Khan's booking is never going to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like the New Japan booking is not going to be perfect. HBK, for all of his Instagram scrolling and, scavenging that he does trying to find talent, that doesn't mean that, he's going to be a perfect booker. Wow. Mr. All Days Off says this is the watch out for Diddy era. For sure. I agree with that. This is definitely the watch out for Diddy era. For sure it is. Gross. Actually gross. Really gross. Really gross. What's next for Roman Reigns? Roman Reigns posted that video and tagged it yesterday I mourned. Today is day one. Walking on the treadmill like he used to do, like after big matches when he used to cut those promos on the elliptical or whatever, those early Tribal Chief days. So is he going back to a little bit of that as far as like how he progresses his character to the social media audience or in between shows? Or is this just him saying, I'll be back soon, and you'll see what the next chapter is when that happens?
Yeah, I think it's the latter. I think it'll be the latter. I think if anybody's earned a break, it's that man right there. And I think like that's a way to feed the masses. Like, yeah, day one, you got to start from the beginning, start from ground up. Like, and he has options to do whatever he wants to do. But I mean, like, hopefully, I think that's going to be like what you said. Like, just him starting from the beginning. And I'll be back. And when I come back, I'll be stronger than ever type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%. I do think like he's hit the reset button. If we don't get The Rock versus Cody Rhodes at SummerSlam, I definitely think it will be Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns in a rematch. Because he had like the whole little smirk at the end. We know like he'll be popping up sooner or later. So yeah, I think he pops up. I think he pops up around SummerSlam.
He damn near got to fight Seth. You know what I'm saying, don't he?
Can I interrupt to read this real quick? That King BK says, I just got here. Y'all seen that clip of Mercedes Moné on the floor moaning? Jizzle, your reaction?
I believe her. Justice for Mercedes. That's my reaction. Justice for Mercedes, baby. Oh my God, I'll save your life. Like, how in the Yo, you can't ask me that question with your glasses shining. You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, man. That's funny.
That's hilarious, man. Justice for Mercedes.
Let's see. Cujo. I was going to read that one. Cujo says Solo and Jimmy going to have to answer to him eventually. Enter Jacob Fatu, Roman versus Solo and Jimmy. See, that's interesting. I think the inclusion of Jacob Fatu into this program is a necessary layer. I think there's room for Tama Tonga as a necessary layer as well. If you're following the tea leaves and lean into anything that Jacob Fatu has recently posted, there was a photo of who was it, the Tonga Kid and Haku,
and Haku, yeah,
which is of course Tama Tonga's father and Jacob Fatu's father, managed by Bobby Heenan, which would be an interesting dynamic to look at from the perspective of Fatu and Tama Tonga with Paul Heyman as the glue in between that.
Mm.
I think that there's room for them to be like kind of, I don't know, maybe like a outcasted part of the family,
You
you
could
know,
get in there,
and
break off, and then start your own groups out of the shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. And you can either do it where they come in and they back up Roman and they help him out as expanding the family, or you do it in a way where The Rock builds his own bloodline and they are his solo and his Jimmy in a sense. Or and maybe somehow like Roman has to solicit the services of his right hand man, Jay Uso, try to get him back on board. But in a role of good guy
Consultant.
Roman trying to,
Hey, you got Cody's number?
you feel me, type shit.
Your cousin tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I
I need
need
to get
help.
Cody over here.
I
Like, go
need
get
help.
Cody. Please go get Cody. Like, Cody first for everybody.
What do you guys think of the title swap, like the jersey swap that Cody and The Rock did?
Shit was
I don't
weird.
know, fake ass belt, nigga.
Shit was
With that
weird,
shit.
bro. But it's like, yo, man, I want to hold your belt only if you let me hold my that belt right there. It felt weird. The crowd was 100% right. The shit was awkward. I get what they were doing. The Rock is like, yo, man, look, I like the way I like the feel of it, man. No
Did
Diddy.
you get
I
what they
like
were
the
doing? That's
yeah, I
crazy. I
got what
like
they
the
were
feel of
doing.
it. No Diddy. Did you see the Easter egg from when The Rock introduced the new version of the WWE title in 2012,
Yes,
2013? That whole
yes,
thing.
I
Very
did.
interesting, and to lean back into that, I feel like it was unnecessary.
Yeah, for what?
Even if they've had this conversation before, I don't think that this was necessary to be like, oh, I just want to take a look at the new championship. Rock, this is Cody in like 2013 when they introduced this whole box pointy weird shape home plate version of the WWE title. Go ahead, Jizzle.
Bruh, like this, like we was like this is the exact same fucking design that you allegedly, you know what I'm saying? Like this is what got rid of the spinner belt. It hasn't changed, nigga. Not only has it changed, nigga, we made every single title that we have like this, nigga. Like, what are you talking about? I want to see what the belt feels like, nigga. This is the exact same belt that you got, nigga, when you beat CM Punk. Nigga, like, please shut the hell up, dog. Like, listen, let me
This
hold you,
one's
let me
gold.
hold you. Huh?
This one's gold. This one's gold, though.
Graham, is the design the exact same design that he was the one to first debut it?
It is a little
So
bit
so
different.
he forgot
Remember,
about it, you know what I'm
it's a
saying?
little
Like,
bit different though. Remember, his version had champion in big letters,
but remember when they had the big WWE symbol in the middle and it had diamonds around it?
like they still have
It's
right
like,
now.
I mean, you know, so just it was a similar. You know what I'm saying? Just a little similar. You know what I mean? Like, I understand you. Like the thing that I want to talk about is like whatever he handed him, like in his hand right there. Like I heard like a couple of little, like it could be. Somebody said that it was a piece of Roman's fucking like little lay or whatever. That he was like, yo, like you got the juice now type shit. Like, yeah, I mean you smoke the tribal chief. That kind of makes you tribal chief adjacent. You know what I'm saying? TCA. You know what I mean?
It could have been a quarter of that. You feel me, young ism? You feel
You know
me?
what I'm saying?
You
You
talking
know,
about? You
here's a
feel
hundred
me?
pills. You know what I'm saying?
Listen, my
Just bring me the
boy.
$200 back.
This right here, my boy. This ain't nothing but some Skittles. You feel me? This ain't nothing but some Skittles. That's it. You feel me? Live your
Get these
life.
Optimus
Enjoy.
Primes and then have a good time. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Yo,
Go to
Yeah.
Shaq's place.
He said, Cody, you ever popped a
yo.
Tesla?
Gotta pop a Tesla. Yo, anybody that wants that many pyro, like that wants that much pyro, like that's some high nigga shit. I don't give a fuck what nobody said. It was like, you know what? If you sign me back, I want all the pyro. Whenever I do something, when I go like this, when I go like this, when I go like this, and I want to shake his hands and shit. All right, whatever.
I saw some. I did see other theories. I saw somebody was like, "Yo, it was a Rolex that Dusty owned that he gave to The Rock or something like that. I saw the things that said like it was connected with Dusty because he was like,
Hold
"Oh,
on.
never break my heart again."
I don't, because you said that, and I want to get that story right. If you're gonna lead with that one, the story was after the show in the press conference, Cody said that when he walked backstage, Nick Khan, Triple H, and Bruce Pritchard gifted him the Rolex watch that Dusty pawned in order to send him to acting school. So he didn't have the money at the time when it came time for Cody to go to college or, go to like a trade school or figure out what he wanted to do. So him and his sister wanted to go to acting school. Dusty pawned his Rolex. The story there is that they gifted him the watch that his dad pawned off. I don't know if it's the same exact watch or just the same model.
A replica.
But but hold on. But the idea behind that theory is that somehow The Rock got a hold of the watch and broke it and put it in Cody's hand as a way to say, like, I couldn't get to you this weekend. I couldn't break you down physically. I couldn't stop you from winning the WWE title, but I can do something to you that's going to affect you emotionally, type thing. And I get that idea, because if you put a broken watch in someone's hand, you don't necessarily have to look at it to know what it is. But if I just got this watch, how the fuck you already stole it from me, nigga, and I don't realize it till the next day, and I walk out there with a brand new smile on my face, like I ain't just been a hoe all day thinking of this watch that somebody snatched from me. That idea is fucking
Cody was
stupid.
in the locker room. Cody said, "Nobody's leaving this locker room till I find my daddy's watch. I'm not playing with you niggas.
What?
Ain't nobody leaving this fucking locker room till I find my daddy's watch."
My daddy gave me that
nigga,
watch.
This is a pawn shop, nigga. That's just been gold teeth, nigga, 15 years ago, nigga. Like, Master P made gold teeth for his daughter, you know what I'm saying? Princess Percy, nigga. Like, whatever. Like, you know what I'm saying? That shit's been gold teeth, nigga. Like, you can say whatever you want. Shout out to kayfabe, even when it comes to jewelry. But
yeah, man.
Yeah, right, nigga. Cody's dad's watch has been something else, nigga. That's just probably, you know what I'm saying, probably in that chain that you got.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I feel like that was pointless. I mean, whatever that is, that's going to play into the storyline that they're going to tell whenever there's a possible situation for Cody and The Rock to have a one-on-one, because he for sure was like, "Yo, I'm coming back for you."
Yeah, whatever. Do it then, nigga. Do that. They shoot Jumanji 7 to heaven.
Let's see.
Cody's running the show. Damian Priest gonna lose that belt eventually, and then stop clout chasing AEW.
Anything happening